Saturday, October 21st, 08:57 a.m. New York time. Good morning. We just completed another week in the markets, so let's look at the weekly time frame. And I'm going to discuss what I think from researching and analyzing the charts on the financial instruments. Then I'll give my best educated guess. We're looking here first on the commodities, specifically the category of energy. On the left is crude oil, and the right is natural gas. Each candle represents a week. We'll see how it performed compared to the prior week. So crude oil, the future symbol is /CL, Charlie Lima. It closed green for the week, higher high, higher low. And look what occurred prior week, an inside candle on the higher time frame, the weekly here. And we broke above it and closed above it. Nice reversal. Again, I've shared many times I've been bullish crude oil, and the strategy has been trading bullish. The advanced strategy we've been doing is bull put spreads. Yep. So we're looking here also. This big red candle was a prior panic sell. And look what we're doing. We're doing a retracement of that big red candle. As well, this is a consolidation. Natural gas, red for the week, lower low, lower high. It's doing a retracement of that big green candle, which is also has us sitting here in a consolidation. Yep, we have these consolidations that are making a staircase pattern higher high. We are still in that staircase pattern higher high. Just the market wants to do a retracement, build energy. I'm still bullish bias, natural gas. And we've been doing what? We've been selling naked puts, collecting credit on the stock ETF. So looking here both on the left of crude oil and the right of natural gas, there are a lot of similarities. Look, the trend has been up on crude oil, and we had a retracement. Natural gas, the trend has been up, we have a retracement. And we're currently in consolidations in both of them. We'll go into the next commodity, the category of metals. And we're looking at a one-year chart. Each candle's a week. Excuse me. I had to pause and use my sippy cup. Okay, we're looking here at gold, symbol /Golf Charlie. Gold, green for the week, higher high, higher low, trending up. Going back into this swing high of July. Here's the high for the year, this yellow horizontal line. Here's the low for the year. Yep. Overall, big consolidation. Silver, green for the week, higher high, higher low. Again, look at this, high for the low, low for the year. Pretty much a big consolidation. And the platinum, green for the week, higher high, higher low. Broke above that inside candle. Nice consolidation. And copper, red for the week. Lower low, lower high, new low for the year. So let's move this down. There we go. New low for the year. I wonder what news sources shared that with you, reported that with you. Specifically, the broad category of metals, and that one of them, specifically copper, made a new low for the year. I'll share you some insight. These metals have different industrial uses. Copper being very broad and very important because it's used in huge industrial. So typically when you see copper start turning bullish, later follows other financial instruments. because commodities, specifically copper, is used huge again in industrial, from your utility lines to appliances to electronic gadgets. Yeah, huge, very important. You could do a good research if you want on the usage of the commodities, but I would recommend you, if you're going to check on that, go straight to the industry that regulates them, not some person putting a post up with a lot of popping up ads. Yeah, they might be just copying and pasting their content, not showing the full direct source. Let's go into the next category of commodities: agricultural, grains, and livestock. First, we'll look at the grains. Look at corn. Green for the week, higher high, higher low. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. Overall, the trend has been down. So again, corn has many usages as human consumption, animal feed, and also included in what? Energy. So some nations regulate their use of energy and require corn, and other ones use sugarcane into ethanol. Now we're looking at the wheat futures: green, higher high, higher low. Huge consolidation. And consolidation staircase pattern, lower low. Soybean, again, another agricultural product, grain product that has huge usage. So green for the week, higher high, higher low. I want to show you this too. If you look at the past few weeks of these top charts, the smaller trading ranges, again, let's say the beginning of the summer, you had a lot of volatility, and now we're having smaller consolidations, smaller trading range again. The top and bottom is the trading ranges of these weekly candles. So again, we could identify this as being calmer markets. Follow the trends and look for the reversals. Again, these big moves were just panic selling, most likely based on news, fear, and then rational people came in and bought them back up, or they looked for opportunities to do the inverse, to trade down, bearish. Okay, now we'll look at the commodities for agricultural, but livestock. We have live cattle, yellow candle for the week. Yeah, but it's solid body equivalent to a red. And last week was the high of the year. Very strong bull trend, live cattle. Huge demand worldwide has increased. Now we're looking at feeder cattle, red for the week, lower high, lower low. Big reversal coming off the high of the year. And lean hog. Look what happened here. Last week, we took out the low of last year. See this horizontal line? 2022 year low. Broke below a huge dump here. Amazing. And now, we also took out the low of 2021. Let's zoom out so you can see a further deeper time period. So we know we made a new low for this year. We took out the low of last year, 2022, and we took out the low from 2021. Is this the first time you're hearing this? If not, share in the comments below where you heard about this before. I'd be interested to know what other news sources have been showing this. Not just verbally saying it or putting it in print, but showing you the charts to put it in better perspective. It's real easy for someone to make a comment, write a comment down, first show you the source. Charts don't lie. Here we go with the chart. And you'll be wondering why lean hog. Again, livestock, I showed you the cattle. Here are the cattle, live cattle. Last week was a new high for the year. Feeder cattle coming off the high. and lean hog. Big difference of what's occurring here on these products. We'll go into now the currencies market. Look at the US dollar index. The US dollar index, again, commodities are priced in the US dollar worldwide. Locally, maybe a little different, but worldwide on the exchanges and between nations, trading them priced in US dollars. The US dollar index is comprised of several currencies that make up an index, and the index represents two or more underlinings. So again, the US dollar index, the top three financial instruments, currencies in the US dollar index is 1, the euro, 2, Japanese yen, and 3, British pound. US dollar index, you see, starts with a dollar sign and then Delta X-ray Yankee. That's in the futures market. There are different futures exchanges in the United States. There are some futures exchanges that have the / which I showed you, and other futures exchanges that don't use the / they use the dollar sign. There's several futures exchanges in the United States. Again, most people choose not to be aware of that, and that makes a difference because you can have the same financial instruments on different exchanges, but they might be represented different on the size of the product, the margin requirements, or the underlying, if it's index, what's in it. So if you hear one exchange say we have a commodity index, another exchange have another commodity index, yeah, I'd recommend you do your due diligence and find out what's inside that index. The same with when they do currency index or anything. Just to show you some information that many people don't do their due diligence to verify. So again, US dollar for the week, inside candle for the week, huge consolidation. Again, look at this. We are near the highs of the year. The dollar is strong like bull. Here's the bottom of the year. Here's the high of the year. Big trend up, big consolidation. US dollar is considered a safe haven currency, as well as Japanese yen, Swiss franc. Right now, the US dollar is leadership. Now we'll look at some of the underlying currencies, the major currencies, the ones that are used worldwide more often than other ones. The euro. Here's the low of the year. Again, same thing, inverse from the US dollar. Inside candle for a week, indecision. And that is interesting, again, seeing let's go back to the US dollar. US dollar inside candle, closed almost like a doji. Doji often means two things. We are at a halfway point of a trend or potential reversal. Yeah, look down here. This is the low of the year back here in this month, this inside candle, this yellow one. And then we broke above it, never going below it. The trend reversed. Again, I would really be focusing a lot on this week to see if we have breakout here on this time frame of the US dollar. Potential trade idea. If you don't want to do that one, well, again, we have the euro. You may not have access to all these financial instruments because you may have a broker that only offers you one exchange, maybe just the equity market exchange. Not all brokers are the same. Do your due diligence. I recommend having brokers that offer you access to many different exchanges, equities, futures, currencies, yields. And I highly recommend you make sure it's corporate headquarters, United States, not some island in the Mediterranean, island in the Caribbean, or islands between the UK and France. No, I recommend it's in the United States. Now we're looking at the British pound. Japanese yen. Japanese yen made let's zoom out. Japanese yen made a new low for the year. Have you heard about that? It didn't occur last 2 weeks ago. It just occurred now. That's news. Let's lower this now. So again, Japanese yen is one of the currencies considered as a safe haven currency, but money is flowing out of it, not in it. So that's not what people want to go to for safe currency right now. I think I need to adjust that. There we go. Let's double check the low. 67.26. Yeah. Okay. So again, new low for the year. Put this further out. There we go. You're looking at 3 years. Look, there's a high for 3 years ago. Here we are now. The trend is down. And look here, very close to the low of last year down here. Let me correct that. Look what my interns are doing. They did it wrong. Shame on them. .com vacation pay. Like, really, you think I got an intern? There you go. Very close to the low of last year. Now, British pound, green for the week. Lower high, lower low, tiny little candle, potential dodgy, potential reversal, halfway point. So look at this consolidation, broke down trending, consolidation. So if this is the halfway point, then you're going to expect this to break below and continue going down, potential the same distance from top of there to top of there. Yep, that could go really deep. Let's zoom out. Wow. So if it's going to trend same distance from there to there, you expect it's going to go deep down there or potential reversal. Time will tell. Australian dollar. Inside candle for the week. Near the low of the year. Australia is one of the countries such as Canada, New Zealand, that are heavily weighted towards commodities. Yep. Their currency is much more affected by the moves of commodities. Commodities get cheaper. Their currency does not benefit. Commodities get stronger. Their currency benefit. Yeah. It's best to be much more diversified and less dependent just on commodities. Canadian dollar, red for the week. Lower high, lower low, consolidation. Look at that staircase pattern, lower low. Again, I kept this blue line on here intentionally to show you that there's a battle going around it. This was a swing low. We took it out here and then reversed off of it. And several times, look at that. Here we took it out. So we finally closed below it this week. Let's zoom out. Huge consolidation from the end of last year now. Very close to the low of this year. Swiss franc, which I mentioned is one of the safe haven currencies. Look what we had there. That was the May low. So currently for the week, green for the week, higher high, higher low, doing a trend up. Here's the high of the year. Here's the low for the year. That was a swing low. We broke below it several times, these two periods of times, and both times, huge wicks on the bottom. Buyers came in and defended it, did a rotation, a reversal. Nice. So now I want to keep that there for a little while. I'm going to change the color. Need to update that later too. So let's do that now. Just do some notes. Because me, I want to keep an eye. I still consider it important if there's a retest. That was the Swiss franc. Now we're looking at the Mexican peso. Mexican peso, red for the week. Lower high, lower low. Big consolidation up here for the high of the year. Here's the low for the year. Again, it's trending down. And this is a huge consolidation. And it's a weak retracement. Both of these weeks try to do a retracement of this big red candle, big wicks on the top, and sellers dumped it. It's grinding down. Now, this is the US dollar, Chinese yuan. Green for the week, higher high, higher low. Huge consolidation. Again, when this trends up, it's in favor of US dollar. So this is positive going up for the US dollar. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. And notice, look how small these trading ranges are getting. A lot of volatility here, a lot of volatility here, tighter consolidation. And for you cryptocurrency junkies or fanatics, whatever you want to call it, or just more the wiser to be situation awareness. Bitcoin closed green for the week, higher high, higher low, huge move up. huge body, tested this prior supply zone and rejected it. Yep, 3,000. Tested it, rejected it, and closed below it. And overall, if you want to do this too, again, there was some news. Sorry about that. Let's fix that. There was news this week on the U.S. court systems, I recall, or some regulatory agency about cryptocurrency that just gave it some news. You look into that. I think it was somewhat positive news for either the crypto exchanges or underlining certain cryptos on regulatory policy. Government websites, you can see it, because what do you think your news media is getting their content from? But they're edited, so you may not get the full facts. I go straight to the source. And looking here, it's a huge consolidation. Okay, so use caution. It's doing a retracement. And this was distribution being selling, dumping, distribution, panic selling, retracement, and dumping again. All right, let's go into the stock indexes. US stock indexes. Pause for a minute. I'm back. SPX, cash index, S&P 500, red for the week. Made a higher high and a lower low than the prior week. Huge red candle. And this red candle was a dump, labeled the midpoint, that red horizontal line. And we tested it last week and this week, both times, and rejected it. And a big sell-off. It's almost like a seller shut-off. Because this big candle almost, the body, no, but the candle, top and bottom, pretty much overlap this. So it's a huge consolidation. We did not take out that swing low yet, no. I have a midpoint there. Excuse me. So huge consolidation here. Breakdown consolidation. Notice again, this had a lot more whipsaw, this consolidation here. Here it's tighter. It's got panic selling there. We'll see what happens next week. If we're going to break below the swing low, if we're going to reject it. Now we're looking at NASDAQ 100. Same thing. Look at the pattern. High of the year, low of the year. Very close to the highs of the year still. The Dow Jones, red for the week, made a higher high. And then a lower low, closed in this consolidation. So here is a swing low. These orange circles, swing lows, key areas. We did not break below this swing low, nor did we close below it. Yeah. So again, still tight consolidation up here. The Dow Transports, red for the week, again, made a higher high, lower low, closed below here, broke below and closed below that. Here's the high for the year. Here's the low for the year. The Dow Utilities did close red for the week, but made a higher high, higher low. The trend is up in a retracement of this dump. And the Russell 2000, new low for the year. Have you heard about that? Did anybody share that with you? This is the first time you hear about it. It made a new low for the year, the Russell 2000. Big difference than what the major indexes, which are these top three. S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the Dow Jones. And now we'll go last into very important, the yields. Yep, U.S. Treasury yields. Yields reflect the interest rates, and you can trade bonds, notes off of them. So we'll look at the longer duration first. This is a 30-year U.S. Treasury, new high for the year. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Now we're looking at 3 years. So the 30-year U.S. Treasury yield, again, the word is yields. I'm not talking about interest rates, not talking about bonds or notes. Treasury yields, when you hear the lenders correlate their interest rates, peg them to the yields. Again, 30-year yield, new high for the year, as well as the past several years. Yields go higher, reflect the interest rates going up. Now we're looking at the 10-year yield, new high for the year. And now we're looking at the 5-year, new high for the year. and the 2-year new high for the year. Let's zoom out the 2-year a little bit. There we go. So the duration of these, regardless if it's a 30-year or 2-year, they all made new highs for the year this past week. Are you aware of that? Again, I'm just mentioning here what I think from research and analyzing what I'm seeing, and then giving you my best educated guess. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.